Welcome back to the Outdoor Experience with Dale Helgeson. Today I have the pleasure of doing an interview here with Bill Kutka, who is a world-renowned fishing guide in both Hayward, Wisconsin and Lake Erie. And we're going to learn a little bit about Bill, a little bit about his guide service, and a little bit of his history. So let's get into it, Bill. How did you get into fishing?
Yeah, first, good to see you. We're here at the Chicagoland Fishing, Travel, and Sport Expo. Last 4 days, we've had our guide booth out here, but how I got into fishing, I'm Chicago native, kind of an urban guy that went rural. You know, I started fishing in the local cemetery ponds and city parks, and had a uncle as a mentor that kind of took me under his wing, and I went into a carnivorous bite for fishing. I just, it's in my blood. I love it. But I started with a 3-piece cane pole, and it morphed into what we've become today. So I love it. It's in my blood.
So, you know, you talked about, you know, starting with the cane pole, progressing up through the rods and equipment, which has changed so much from when we were young.
Yep, I know.
So as your equipment changed, you know, did that lead you into tournaments or guiding first? Because I know you've done both.
No, it's a good question. When I was in the Chicagoland area, I started in the old manufacturer's walleye circuit. It's now MWC, and I got an appetite for that competition. It was back in the Gary Parsons, Keith Cavallas, and some of the patriarchs we know in the industry. So that got me the appetite for the competition. I went into the professional walleye trail for a little bit, and the guiding really hasn't accelerated for me until maybe a couple, 3 years ago, full time. So I love it because my passion is teaching. I love the fellowship. You guys will see I take a lot of families out on the boat. Last year, I think the youngest child I had was 4 years old.
Nice.
So I'm all about the teaching, the fellowship. Here at the show, we've been seeing a lot of families today. I love seeing fishing rods in kids' hands, and so, you know, kind of focusing on the guiding business now, and just loving it. My wife Kelly's part of the business, and we do shore lunches on Hayward trips, and she's
Awesome.
up there cooking when we come in, and yeah, love it.
So tell us a little bit about what you do in Hayward, because we know Hayward and Erie are two different entities.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about Hayward.
Yep. So, you know, I've been going to the Hayward area for over 40 years, full-time resident now up there for about 12. I guide up there full-time May through September now, everything but muskie, but multi-species. So I focus on walleye, bass, northern panfish, but I do a lot of walleye, a lot of bass up there, and we're blessed up there. I just did a seminar yesterday here at the show, walleye fishing in Hayward. We got such a diverse fishery up there. We've got rivers, we got flowages, we've got stained lakes, we got glacier lakes, you know. So I'll be jumping my 21-foot Ranger from a 200-acre lake in the morning, and I'll go fish a 5,000-acre glacial lake with the same customers in the same day. You know, showing them different things, different techniques. I try to get to know my customers before the trip. What are they looking to achieve? You know, what have you done? What have you wanted to do? And focus on that, channel into that based on the season and the species they want to target.
So now I know you got on Lake Erie too, which is a big fish factory.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you do on Erie, you know, some of the techniques you use on Erie.
Yeah, well, you've been out there like I have in some of the tournaments, NWT, and actually that's what's got me addicted to old PWT days. You know, we'd go out there in April, and that was always a kickoff tournament, and now NWT goes out there quite a bit. But so I wrap it up in Hayward, and I'm like, you know, they really need a lot of help out there. There's so many fish and lack of guides and charters. So I've started in October, November, I'll be out there for 7 weeks guiding for walleye. I did a seminar here on Thursday, the opening day, some statistics, 151 million walleye in Lake Erie in 2021, over 15 inches. The average is 22 inches. They just had a record hatch in 2021. It's just unbelievable. The fish per hectare out there, I think we're 90 in 2021. That's every 2.5 acres, there's 90 walleye. Now you do that up in Hayward, there might be 6. You know what I mean? So it's just, it will wreck you on walleye fishing. It's now the walleye capital of the world, no doubt. it's an experience that everybody needs to get out and do.
So as you're out on Erie, I mean, I know most guys are trollers.
Yep.
Do you ever try to target walleyes out there?
Can we cut? No. I do. I mean, I'm blessed. I've got Lowrance Electronics as one of my sponsors, and I've got the Active Target, of course,
Yep.
and I did it in the seminar on Lake Erie. You know, I've got 3 rules. I don't fish till I see fish. I don't leave active fish to find inactive fish. I leave inactive fish to find active fish. Rule 4 is go back to rule 1. So I do. I target, and especially in Erie, just because you find fish, you may not want to fish those fish. You know, they may not be as active as you want. They may not be the year class that you're looking for. You've done it.
Yep.
There's times in tournaments I don't even take the rods out of the locker for 2 days, you know, and I just go out and scope. So yeah, I do target, and I know when I need to put the rods in the water. And I troll a lot out there, obviously, but then I'm going to take my 7-foot rod out, pull the trolling rods in, say we're going to go rip them. I'll run out there, rip and wrap, shiver minnows, hyper rattles. Nothing like getting a 9-10 pound walleye in the end of a 7-foot rod.
Yes, and I know we do that on Green Bay a lot, you know, targeting more, but a lot of guys troll out there. But it was a pleasure talking to you.
Good seeing you always.
I'm glad that I got to run into you here.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for more on the Outdoor Experience.
Come on down with me, get your fishing line. We'll be doing all the fun things that cause us to be losing track of time. Come on down with me, grab your rod, you'll find. Maybe in a little bit we all gonna be doing just fine. Hey, what you doing? Got a head for the dough. Well, we don't have to slave for Uncle Sam no more.